Dear students, the topic of today's lecture is Claisen and Cope rearrangements, and these are two of the most studied sigmatropic rearrangements in pericyclic reactions. In fact, Claisen, Cope, and cycloaddition Diels-Alder reaction are the three major reactions which have utmost importance to an organic chemist. So, studying them holds a critical position in organic synthesis, and we will see how these two rearrangements occur. So, what are Claisen and Cope rearrangements? First, we will deal with Claisen rearrangement. Claisen rearrangement is a three sigmatropic rearrangement of an allyl vinyl ether. While as a Cope rearrangement, it's also a 3 sigmatropic rearrangement, but it's of a diene. So the starting compound in Cope rearrangement is a 1,5 diene, while as in case of Claisen rearrangement, the starting material is allyl vinyl ether. As you can see here, this is an example of Claisen rearrangement. This is known as an allyl vinyl ether. It's an ether compound, so it's known as allyl vinyl ether. So you can see the movement of these electrons. I have marked, I have shown the circular movement of electrons in this compound. As you can see, this sigma bond breaks. So the labeling will be here, 1, I have marked it 1, 2 and 3. Similarly 1, 2 and 3. So when a sigma bond breaks in the reactant, a new sigma bond will be formed in the product. That new sigma bond is here. This is the new sigma bond. This is the new sigma bond that's formed, right? And it also involves reorganization of pi bonds. So these pi bonds have reorganized. This pi bond here at 2 and 3 positions, this pi bond here, it has gone to this carbon and oxygen bond, right? So this is the product here is an unsaturated ketone. So the Claisen rearrangement product is an unsaturated ketone, and its starting material is an allyl vinyl ether. So it's a 3, 3 or 3 sigmatropic rearrangement. I have already told you how to how to number these compounds and how to know what kind of sigmatropic rearrangement a particular compound undergoes. So Claisen rearrangement also occurs with it occurs with both allylic aryl ethers and allylic vinyl ethers. The last example was that of an allylic vinylic ether. This is an example of an allylic aryl ether. This is an allyl aryl ether. Okay, so there's an aryl group here. In place of vinyl group, we have an aryl group here, right? That's why they are called as allylic aryl ethers. So I have shown the movement of bonds here. The movement of bonds has been shown, and numbering system I have done. This is the sigma bond that breaks. This is the sigma bond that breaks. So numbering will be 1, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Similarly 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so movement of electrons is shown here. New sigma bond, this is the new sigma bond here. This is the new sigma bond formed. Okay, this this double bond here, it goes to this position. So this is the product, but this product is a little bit unstable because it has lost an aromatic ring. So it forms this compound. This is unstable. It gets converted into an through allyl phenol. So how it does it, this goes so this compound gets converted into an orthoallyl phenol. And how this happens, this bond breaks here. This bond, it breaks here, it goes here, and this hydrogen, it will go to here. Okay, so this is how it is formed. This is the final product of a Claisen rearrangement. So you can see it's a 3 sigmatropic shift. Now we'll see the example of a Cope rearrangement. It's a 1,5 diene, right? So what happens, this sigma bond breaks. I have shown the movement of circular movement of electrons. This sigma bond breaks, it breaks. Okay, so it will go here, it will go here, and this will go here. Means you have a new sigma bond here. So this is the new sigma bond here which is formed. So you can say it's the new sigma bond here. And other pi bonds, they rearrange, they reorganize, they migrate their positions. Okay, so the product is, you see, this is the final product, and it's also a 1,5 diene. It's a 1,5 diene, but it's a rearranged 1,5 diene. So we call it a rearranged 1,5 diene. So as you can see, the two fragments which are separated by the sigma bonds, they contain 3 atoms each. So it's a 3 sigmatropic shift, as I already mentioned here. So there's an important point here. Both Claisen and Cope rearrangements, they involve reorganization of an odd number of electron pairs, 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond. So 2 pi bonds means this is one pi bond, this is one pi bond, and this is a sigma bond. So there are 3 electron pairs are involved, 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond. So Woodward-Hoffmann rules predict a suprafacial pathway for both of these rearrangements under thermal conditions. So both of these rearrangements will undergo a suprafacial rearrangement, suprafacial sigmatropic shift. So therefore both these rearrangements will readily occur under thermal conditions. They will occur under thermal conditions. So important note here, odd electron pairs means 3 electron pairs which are involved here. They are involved, so it means that these are similar to molecules with 3 pi bonds. Example is hexatriene, 1, 3, 5 hexatriene. So as you know, the HOMO of hexatriene, which you have studied in the introduction part of pericyclic reactions, pi 3 is its HOMO. So pi 3 is its HOMO. So pi 3 is symmetric, which in turn implies that being symmetric, pi 3 is symmetric, so it will involve suprafacial sigmatropic shift. So I have drawn here, it's a pi 3. As you can see, the lobes on the periphery, the lobes on the outer side, they have the lobes have the same sign, geometric sign, or this the which color shadedness shows here whether the sign of the wave function is same or it is different. So this is a this is symmetric, this is HOMO of 1 comma 3 comma 5 1 comma 3 comma 5 hexatriene, or any molecule which involves 3 electron pairs, as is the case of Cope and Claisen rearrangements, right? So it's homo, it's symmetric. It's symmetric. You can see same sign of the lobes at the end of, at the end of the molecule. So if they have to shift the group from one orbital to the another orbital, it will surely involve through suprafacial shift. So this is how you can solve this problem. So I have shown here, this is the orbital diagram of Cope rearrangement. This is Cope rearrangement, and this is Claisen rearrangement. And as you can see that you know it involves 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond. 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond are involved. So you can see these orbitals here at the end. These orbitals here, these orbitals, uh, they are symmetric. So it's homo, and they are symmetric. Both they are symmetric. When they are symmetric, it means they will involve both are symmetric, so they will involve suprafacial rearrangement. And this is how this suprafacial rearrangement has occurred. This is the product. You can see the bonding. This is the product in this, it's in Claisen rearrangement, and this is the product of Cope rearrangement. So it's very easy to understand the interaction of these pi bonds and sigma bond, and how homo involved in these two rearrangements, how it involves suprafacial pathway. It can easily be predicted on the basis of Woodward-Hoffman rules. So this is all for this lecture.